Hybrid is going to stay, work models will keep changing, culture will remain dynamic, and also we have to keep reimagining and reinventing ourselves as and when things change going forward. So yes, a lot has already been said and written about the perceived cons of having remote teams. And the two most discussed topics here are typically the impact on company culture and also the lack of communication that can occur. So company culture is a primary concern for leaders. How can you reimagine culture for a world where there are no longer any rituals or ceremonies enacted in the office, where people have very little face-to-face interaction with their leaders or with their peers? How can you create those bonds? And in the past 2 years, we've realized that while technology became a key enabler, having the human connect and a human thought behind your people became very, very important. So I think culture for me is not a physical space. Culture for me doesn't matter whether you're in a remote working setup or you're working together in an office. It is about having it in the foundation and ethos of the organization, having those set of values where people connect with, and that impacts their work because they know that they're working for a common goal. So these cultural beliefs and norms are still being created and reinforced as and when we speak, but they have to be guided by systems and routines that were previously established in the office. And how do you take forward and communicate them to your remote employees also as well? So I think it's all about communication now. Your culture is there, set, understood. How are you communicating it to your employees? And how are you bringing them together? So yes, remote or not remote, I think it's all about communicating your culture to your people.
Unilever Sri Lanka, we tried to come up with an enabler that forces a leader to display some of these qualities of authenticity, vulnerability, conversations, communication. And we called it something called Katabaha. It's a Sinhalese word, which basically stands for chit chat. And it's basically a forced moment for a leader to simply pause and talk about nothing that is, on an agenda. It's like we have these little leader check-in circles. We call them Katabaha, where, groups of 5, 6, 10 people just talk about what's going on in their minds. And I can't tell you how much energy, openness, trust that it has unlocked in our organization. And it's actually showing in the engagement scores where employees tell us that, this has helped us become closer to our line managers and leaders because, we don't talk about work, but in a very structured way, we talk about anything under the sun.